Diabeligence. Excellent day, very sweet viewers and listeners. Welcome to our newest vlog, Diabeligence. This is a combination of two words, diab for diabetes and ligens for intelligence. That is why we coined up to Diabeligence. The world is really full of sweet people, sweet foods, and sweet temptations. That is why sweetness already becomes a health deficit. Today, Nurse Noy will learn with you and join you in the quest to have diabeligence. In this vlog, we will be elaborating lifestyle modifications, diet suggestions, liquid reinforcements, physical routines, and above all, simple tips to live and be happy with sweetness. This is holistically called as Diabeligence. This program will be a weekly recorded video presentation that will be released every Sunday. So sit back and relax and join us as we will be proud diabeligent people with great diabeligence. A pleasant day, dear Diabeligent listeners. We are on our fourth episode of Diabeligence, a program that promotes diabetic intelligence. Once again, this is your program host, Nurse Noy Gonzaga Jr., a registered nurse, a clinical instructor, a certified caregiver, and a certified health aide, sharing a practical way how to deal with diabetes. Our Diabeligent topic for today will be Diabetaband. It is spelled Diabetaband. Diabetaband. Have a sweet day again, Diabeligent listeners. Today, I will be sharing with you something that is preventive and promotive in terms of dealing with diabetes. Oftentimes, we prevent something from worsening or we promote fast action only when we have knowledge of what is going on. That is why I am introducing to you a way to promote faster action and prevent further worsening of some symptoms when there is hypoglycemic occurrence. Hypoglycemic means low blood sugar, and most likely hypoglycemic will appear to a person in a passing out way. So there will be darkening of the vision, and then the person will just pass out and fall to the ground. The Diabetaband is usually worn like a bracelet at the hand that does not wear a watch. So if you are wearing watch on the right hand, put the band on the left hand or wrist to be specific, or the other way around, or vice versa. This is not a highly attractive band because this does not aim to get attention. However, when there is an actual hypoglycemic attack, usually we touch the hands of the patient and that will bring our attention to the band. That will then take a closer look at it, and it will have a diabetic word engraved on it. So when there will be a call for help to rescue a person who passed out, there will already be an accompanying data that the person is diabetic. So this will direct the treatment or the first aid to a diabetic rescue. On the contrary, if there will be no knowledge why the person passed out, there will be many considerations to do. You can consider choking, you can consider stroke, you can consider vertigo, you can consider medication adverse and side effect, and you can consider many things. Just by trying to find out or assess what is really the cause we are we are already losing significant minutes that may cause the patient or the victim significant chances and changes in physiology, even if there will be already cure or restoration of mobility in health. Take for instance another case. When a person is not yet fainting and he rushed to the nearest convenience store and go directly to the area of sweets or drinkable juice in pouches or cans, if the person has no indicator whatever to present without talking, because dear listeners and streamers, it may register that a person with hypoglycemic attack may have cognitive interference, or they may also have speech problems. If they have a band at the wrist, they can just show that to the guard or the store barker, and then the store guard will pave the way running to assist a diabetic person to the area of food intake, and then after, there will be restoration of mobility and optimum consciousness. Then the guard will already leave the person, and by then the person will already pay whatever was taken in for survival reasons. If you can imagine a person running in without anything from his mouth, without any talking, just go directly and grab some sweets, you might say that the person is a burglar, or the person is a stealer. But with a band, you cannot think otherwise. This is very significant in some states in the United States and other progressive countries in the West. However, in Asia, this is still considered a conceptual idea, and this may need more information dissemination or media exposure to inform the general public of the importance of these diabetabands. Another incident was also reported in a European country when one person accidentally fell on a glassware display, and those displays are very expensive. When the guard rushed to apprehend the person, he grabbed the person by the wrist and he saw the band reading diabetic, and instead of reprimanding the person, the guard called the store nurse and rescue numbers were alerted, and the person was given first aid and regained consciousness and was not fined a single centavo because it was an emergency, as justified by the mere recognition of the guard of the band or the bracelet at the right hand of the person who fell unconscious. Now, I tried to search for possible sources of this band, and I have checked common online couriers, and they have packages for these Diabetabands, or they also call that Diabetic Bracelets. So you can order that for a maximum of 10 days and then get your own Diabetaband or Diabetic Bracelet and add a significant way of protecting yourself when there are emergencies. My last inclusion to this topic is, when there are unrelated incidents and accidents that may happen to a person and there is a need to have invasive, when you say invasive, skin cutting or wound producing. Okay? So when there is a need to have invasive procedure such as surgery, insertions, and other procedures that needs wounds and cuts and punctures, it would be a great knowledge to know if the person is diabetic or not, because some of these procedures are more of a curse than a blessing when done to a diabetic patient. Remember, there is always a poor wound healing capability for a diabetic person, and at the same time, there is also a poor sensation to pain and heat when a part of the body is already injured. Thus, an emergency can happen without a direct sensation or reaction from the patient or the victim. Thus, when you have a bracelet and things like this can happen or can become an urgent consideration, Then, that can answer questions and hasten or fasten the rescue or treatment process. So here is an example of a Diabetaband. I will be showing you some packings and unpacked some so that you can see how it will be attached or worn by a person. Once again, dear Diabeligence streamers and listeners, thank you very much for giving time to the updates and tips that we are sharing to make life with diabetes more comfortable. Remember always, diabetes may not be curable, but it is highly manageable. Again, diabetes may not be curable, but it is highly manageable. Now, one way to make management effective is to make the time element fast and short. In actual settings, many questions, assessment processes, and observations can be cut down when there is already a band indicating the person's diabetic condition. One person told me, "Is it not a social castration when we will wear something that will make us look sickly and not within the normal population?" Well, dear listeners and streamers, the Diabetaband or Diabetic Bracelet, as what I have said earlier, are not very attractive bands. You cannot even see it in a 1 meter distance on what is written at the band itself. It looks like a fashion-based bracelet or band. Another point is, there is always a difference between feeling outcast and feeling safe. If you are outcasted but you are safe, that will be a better option than being socially amenable yet not safe. For it may promote health ignorance and even disabilities in the future. Until the next Diabeligent tips will be streamed, for now, we have reached the end of our information drive through this program, Diabeligence. One request I will be asking, dear listeners and viewers. Please do subscribe to our vlog site by clicking the word subscribe below this video. By doing so, we will be reaching more people who will be informed and will be given the chance to see the tips that we are providing, making them diabeligent individuals also in the onset. God bless and have a diabeligent day to everyone. Bye-bye.
Blum, blum, blum.